हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। होप यू ऑल आर वेल एंड डूइंग गुड। आज हम जिस टॉपिक के बारे में बात करेंगे वो है रिप्रोडक्शन, अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक फ्रॉम एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इन बोथ यूर CBSE बोर्ड एग्जाम्स एज वेल एज यूर नीट एग्जाम्स. So what I am going to cover today is what is reproduction, why it is essential or necessary, and understanding on the terms like lifespan and clone, reasoning where I am going to discuss why organism formed by a sexual reproduction is referred as clone. Then your types of reproduction where I am going to cover a sexual reproduction, mainly how reproduction occurs in amoeba and what is the difference between mitosis and binary fission. So let's start topic. All of us are aware of the term reproduction. Reproduction is the biological process where an organism produces young one which are similar to itself. On this earth, every organism took birth, grow, mature and then die, which is the ultimate truth for every organism. जो भी organism इस धरती पे जन्म लेता है वो grow करता है, mature करता है और उसके बाद उसकी death हो जाती है. If reproduction is not there, then it is very difficult to maintain the continuity of the race. So reproduction is the process where an offsprings grow, mature and in turn produce offsprings which are similar to itself. Now let's have a look on the definition of reproduction. It is a biological process of continuity of race in which grown up individuals give rise to offspring similar to them. Now reproduction is an essential process because it enables the continuity of the species. Second thing, it maintains the life on the earth, and third, it creates variation among the species which leads to evolution. Thus we can conclude that reproduction is the process that ensures the species to be continued generation to generation, and it leads to the development of variations which results in evolution. Let's have an understanding on the terms like lifespan and clone. Every organism on this earth took birth, grow and then die. This period between the birth and natural death of an organism is termed as lifespan. Let's have a look on the definition of lifespan. The period between the birth and natural death of an organism is termed as lifespan. Now what is clone? The organisms that are genetically and morphologically similar are termed as clone. After an understanding on the term clone, a question arises why offsprings that are produced from asexual reproduction are referred as clone. जो भी offsprings asexual reproduction की वजह से produce होते हैं उन्हें clone क्यों कहा जाता है? The reason is that asexual reproduction results in the formation or production of offsprings that are morphologically and genetically similar to one another. Now let's have a look. Why offspring formed by asexual reproduction are referred as clone? Reason is that offsprings that are produced by asexual reproductions are morphologically and genetically similar to one another, hence termed as clone or referred as clone. Based upon the participation of one organism and two organisms, reproduction is of two types: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is one in which two parents are involved, whereas in asexual reproduction only a single organism, or you can say a single parent, is involved. Now the key points for asexual reproductions are: single parent is capable of producing offsprings. These are the offsprings that are produced by asexual reproduction are genetically and morphologically identical to one another and to their parents. Please pay attention to my words that offsprings are genetically identical and morphologically identical to one another and to their parents. जो ऑफस्प्रिंग्स जनरेट हुए हैं असेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन में वो एक दूसरे के आइडेंटिकल होंगे और वो अपने पेरेंट्स के भी आइडेंटिकल होंगे. Binary fission is the first type of asexual reproduction where an organism, or you can say the parent cells, divide into two and each part carry one copy of the genetic material. Here in this diagram you can see that the parent cell, after replicating its genetic material, divides into two equal sized daughter cells. This type of reproduction can be seen in amoeba, protozoa and in prokaryotes. Now let's have a look on the definition of binary fission. Binary fission is a form of asexual reproduction in which an organism divides into two and each part carrying one copy of the genetic material. Now let us try to understand how binary fission took place in amoeba. The body of the amoeba is highly porous. In this diagram you can see the parent cell. This is the nucleus, this is contractile vacuole. Now the amoeba or the parent cell that undergo binary fission grows larger. Here in the second stage you can see that pseudopodia are minimized and the parent cell get more condensed, which is followed by the enlargement of the nucleus. Here in this diagram you can see that the nucleus divides into two nuclei and there is a development of group. Now this process is very similar to that of mitosis of the cell cycle and is termed as karyokinesis, which is then followed by the division of cytoplasm, which is termed as cytokinesis, that result in the formation of two daughter cells, each carrying the copy of the genetic material. Now most of the students get confused whether mitosis or binary fission is a similar process or not. ज़्यादातर students को ये confusion रहता है कि क्या binary fission और mitosis एक जैसे process होते हैं या इनमें कोई difference भी होता है. So now let us try to differentiate between the mitosis and binary fission. The major difference in binary fission and mitosis is that mitosis is a type of cell division where the cell divides into two daughter cells, each having the same kind and same number of chromosomes as parent cell. It results in the overall growth of the cell. Here spindle formation takes place and it occurs mostly in eukaryotes, whereas binary fission is a type of asexual reproduction where the parent cells, or you can say the organisms, divides into two equal halves and each half has ability or potential to grow original size of the parent. Here spindle formation do not take place. It occurs mostly in prokaryotes. With this, I am ending this video now. In my upcoming video, I am going to cover how reproduction takes place when the conditions are unfavorable to amoeba and how reproduction took place in bacterial cell, or you can say how binary fission took place in bacterial cells. Till then, good day, bye bye. Please subscribe to my channel.